What is going on, people? What is going on? Welcome back. Only Fact Sports. You already know what it is, bro. Nick J. Francis here. International break is finished. Bukayo Saka is back. Arsenal is back, and that means that we are back as well. Arsenal against Fulham. We're going to be seeing Emil Smith Rowe playing against Arsenal, I think, for the first time. So it's going to be something of an emotional affair. Like I said, Bukayo Saka's back from injury. I, for one, big talk. We're going to go through the starting 11s before the game kicks off. Lots of controversy about should he start or should he not. I don't care how fit they say that he is. For me, definitely shouldn't be starting this game as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to rush him back. This is Fulham, a very good team, but a team that we're very, very capable of beating without Bukayo Saka, in my opinion. And if we can't beat Fulham without Bukayo Saka starting, then we are in a really desperate place. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think I saw a starting 11. I think I saw that he isn't starting, but there was lots of talk and argument about it. So let's get into it. Starting in goal for us, David Raya. Back four with Lewis Skelly starting at left back, Timber right back, Gabriel and Saliba all fit and good to go. So that's really positive. Midfield of Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard. Big talk of what the summer window is going to look like. Mikel Arteta has been saying it's going to be a big 2025. So let's see how that window shapes this midfield. But probably the best midfield that we've got right now. And up front, Marino, Gabriel Martinelli, and Ethan Wanyeri. And obviously, that's the big talk, is the striker. Do you know what I mean? Everybody looks at Gyökeres as being the front runner at the moment. I think it looks like it's between Gyökeres and Isak to come to Arsenal. And I think we're probably leaning, we as the club are probably leaning slightly more towards Gyökeres to come in and be that new number 9 for Arsenal, which I'm not against. I personally am not against. I think there's a level or two to go in his game. Some people are bringing up the fact that he's 27 because Arsenal's been focused on buying younger players for so long. But at the end of the day, we were in a phase where we wanted to bring in young players. We're building this project. Now we're at a place where the team's pretty established and we can afford to bring in, real stars and real players that are going to come in and hit the ground running. And that's where I think we'll see the biggest shake-up. If I'm looking at the starting 11, still no number 9. Obviously, Havertz injured, Jesus injured, Marino going to have to do a job for us today. And like I say, another good start for Ethan Wanyeri. So very happy to see that. And on the bench, Kieran Tierney, Bukayo Saka, Kivior, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Trossard, Sterling. So we've got some options off the bench for once. It's mad how different it feels having Raheem Sterling and Trossard coming off the bench, and then having Raheem Sterling, Trossard, and Saka to come off the bench. It feels like way more reinforcements, even though it's only one player. But that is the kind of lift that a player like Bukayo Saka can give you. For them, who have they got? They've got Bern Lenham in goal, a back three of Cuenza, Anderson, and Diop. Solid back three, wing backs, Timothy Castagna and Anthony Robinson. Then they've got Sander Berg and Lukic in the midfield. Adama Traore up against Mars Lewis Kelly, who can, Mars Lewis Kelly's pretty built for an 18-year-old, but Adama Traore will be a real physical test for him. Raul Jimenez and Emil Smith Rowe as well as their front three kind of attacking. So like I say, I think this is the first time that Smith Rowe's played against us. Obviously, Reece Nelson is on loan, so he can't play. And their bench: Calvin Bassey, Harrison Reed, Rodrigo Muniz, who's having a really good season. Tom Kearney, Alex Iwobi, obviously ex-Arsenal. Willian, ex-Arsenal, but let's not talk about that. Ryan Sessegnon. So they've actually got something of a pretty good squad. Squad for squad, I'd say that this is almost balanced. To be honest with you, our squad is obviously depleted of injuries, and theirs is fit and firing. So let's see what happens. Both teams have been on pretty good form, and like I say, I'd say Fulham, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, they're all part of those sort of overachievers this season. They're in eighth. 3 wins and 2 losses in their last 5. Arsenal 2 draws, 2 wins, 1 loss. So both of us are a very mixed bag in terms of our last 5 performances. We're currently 9 games away from the end of the season in terms of 9 Premier League games and 12 points behind Liverpool. It seems like an insurmountable gap. We would need Liverpool to drop 4 or 5 games and for us to make those games up. And injuries really have just completely crucified our season. But listen, it is what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? I think the key thing for us is looking at those Real Madrid games and going into those games with a lot of confidence. We can't really be scraping past Fulham at home 1-0 and then expecting to put up a good performance against Real Madrid. I think that's the real difficulty, is that these games are really all about keeping us, on as good momentum as possible. And that's one of the reasons, going back to that conversation we are having earlier about Gyökeres, one of the reasons I favour Gyökeres over somebody else that's been mentioned about being linked to Arsenal in Darwin Núñez. I just think that confidence plays such a big part in a player, especially when we're talking about a striker. And if Darwin Núñez and Gyökeres are the same level, I'm not saying they are, but let's say they are exactly the same in terms of talent level, I would lean towards the one that's going to give that's more confident, because I just think that confidence is such a big deal. Is such an intangible. Getting a confident striker in Darwin Núñez, whether it's his fault, whether it's the club's fault, maybe it's nobody's fault, but he's lost a huge amount of confidence since going to Liverpool and signing for Liverpool. So for me, I see Gyökeres potentially as a really good option. Isak would be my first choice, but he's going to be pretty much double the price. And I think actually for the extra 60, 70 million you'd have to put on top of the 60 million we can get Gyökeres for, we can put that 60, 70 million into another attacking midfielder and another winger as well. But listen, it's all about today. It's all about today. And what does a win do for Fulham? Because realistically, a win doesn't do much for us. What are Fulham's ambitions? They're eighth. If they win, they can jump over Brighton and they can get up to 7th. They're not going to get above they go above Newcastle as well, but then Newcastle will have 2 games in hand. Of course, Newcastle just won the League Cup, the Carabao Cup. Huge scenes over there up in Newcastle. In terms of the the parade and everything like that. How do I pronounce this name now? Kochieng Felix. What's going on, bro? Man said, "Hey Nick, what's going on, bro? How you doing? Tell me about your score predictions for this game." I think I'd like to see us keep a clean sheet. I don't know if we will keep a clean sheet. I'd like to see us keep a clean sheet. If we can, I can see us getting 2 goals today. So I'm leaning towards 2-1, maybe a 2-0. They've just got some really good. They've got some really good talent. But there was a time when looking at a front three of Jimenez and Adama Traore and Smith Rowe would really kind of worry me and in borderline intimidate me, really. And now I look at that front three, and yeah, look, there's talent in there, but doesn't really bother me as much. It doesn't worry me, do you know what I mean? Which is a clear sign of how far we've come. And actually, we're just at a point now where we need a striker. We need a better striker, and we need someone who can come in and bag the goals for us. I mean, simple as that, and take us to that next level. I think if we go and get a good attacking midfielder, a better left winger, and a top number 9, we will be there fighting for the title. It's as simple as that. Amad Diallo's here. Wagwan, Amad. It's been a minute because it's been international break, and man don't care about international. But Amad Diallo being here reminds me that Manchester United are playing as well today. Actually, there's 3 games tonight. Let me just pull up the games there tonight. You've got Wolves are hosting West Ham at the same time as Arsenal. 7:45 kickoffs for both, and then Nottingham Forest are hosting Manchester United, which should be a tough game. So I'm going to keep an eye on both. I'm going to keep an eye on all 3 games, but mainly that United game as well, because that's going to be a really difficult game for Manchester United. Nottingham Forest full of confidence. And at home as well. Nottingham Forest is a very, very difficult place to go, and they're on a run of 3 games unbeaten, 2 wins and a draw in their last 5 games. Manchester United are also on a run of 4 games unbeaten, so 2 draws, 2 wins. So again, could go either way. I'm probably leaning towards Nottingham Forest on that game, but let's see what happens. Bruno Fernandes is playing out of his mind this season, so um, Coach Yang said it really is all about getting ready for Madrid. The league is gone 100%, and us playing Real Madrid at home first for me gives us a massive advantage. We know that we're pretty good at home. This is again more preparation for Real Madrid because we're going to be playing at home first of all. But I think that that defensive solidity is going to be something that I don't think Real Madrid are going to have come up against. We have one of the best defenses, with the best defense in England, I would say. And when we're at our best, we've got one of the best defenses in Europe. It's really not crazy to say that. We saw PSG knock out Liverpool from the Champions League, and PSG couldn't really put too much of a dent in our defense, to be fair. When we're really at our best and most confident, I think we're there. Real Madrid in La Liga, the league's pretty open play, very technical players around, and then if you go and get yourself a couple of athletes like a Jude Bellingham, like a Mbappe, there's a huge amount of space to work in. What can they do when there isn't a lot of space to work in, and when things are just a little bit too tight and too compact? Can we really frustrate them? If we can come out of the Emirates game with a 1-0 lead, 1-0, maybe 2-1, maybe we rely on a corner, we don't care, right? Then we go to Real Madrid. And like I say, in terms of just grinding out games, when if you go back to last season or the season before that, when Rob Holding was here, when Arteta, when it was last 10 minutes of the game and we had to bring Rob Holding off the bench and grind out a game, we can do that. Now we look at uh who's the left back? Kivior. Jakob Kivior is more like that new Rob Holding that will, if he comes off the bench and wants to grind out a slow, boring, ugly game, 100% will be able to do that. We've done it against Liverpool. We've done it against Manchester City, Manchester City, prime Liverpool. We've been able to grind games out against them. And if we can do it against them, I'm confident we can do it at Real Madrid. But this game is all about that preparation here. We're going to be on the ball. We're going to have control of the game. What can we go and do with it? And the players I'm looking at today, really, I'm looking at Martin Odegaard heavily today because he's someone. I was just talking about Bruno Fernandes, and how much he's impressed me this season, because with Bruno, Manchester United were, in the top fourth or fifth, and they've dropped all the way down to like 15th in the league at some points in the league. And Bruno's actual output hasn't dropped. No matter how his team is performing, his output hasn't dropped. And I think that's really impressive to keep that level of output all the way through, no matter how shit the team is. Some people don't like him. Some people feel like he's a detriment to the team a little bit. And I understand his criticisms, but on an individual basis, you've got to give Bruno Fernandes credit. On the opposite side of that, we see Erdegaard. Erdegaard, I think, is actually a more naturally talented player than Bruno Fernandes is, in my opinion. But since Erdegaard's come back from his injury, he really has struggled to find that same creativity, that same ability to drive the ball forwards. He seems to be a little bit nervous about taking contact, getting involved in tackles. I don't know how much of that is still the mental side of recovering from that injury, but that's just what it seems like at this moment in time from Erdegaard, and that's what I'm going to need to go and see more. Remember, Real Madrid were the team that signed him when he was really young. He was only Ethan Wanyeri's age or something like that. He was coming through 15, 16, 17 years old, gone to the biggest club in the world. Wasn't really able to make it, and didn't really get along with the team that much. And he was quite a young guy, and at that time Real Madrid had Ronaldo and Sergio Ramos, and they're going for Champions Leagues, and so it's difficult for a young kid to kind of fit in that dressing room. But to me, I want to see Martin Odegaard go and have a point to prove, and go and prove something to Real Madrid and say, actually, I deserve to. This is what you've lost. You've lost me. Similar tonight, Emile Smith Rowe is going to be looking at Arsenal, saying, "Look, I love Arsenal, but he's going to have a point to prove." Do you know what I mean? And that's what it is. We've kicked off, by the way. We just kicked off. Where are we at? Let me put up the little first half thing here. Remember, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Playing at home first only matter when you go to Bernabeu with more than 2 goals. Yeah, that's facts. That is facts. Like we need to be going there with as much of a lead as possible. Like 100%. We can't really, take anything for granted there. 100%. That's spot on. You know, like I say, our midfield is really the area that I'm looking at. Declan Rice. What can he do? Declan Rice has been in the England team for a long time before Jude Bellingham came along. Now Jude Bellingham's coming to the England team. You have to be the leader. You have to. We know how good he is. You have to not be intimidated by that and go and be a leader for yourself. Erdegaard, we've already covered. Thomas Partey, he's got experience. He's played against Madrid before. He's played there a couple of times. He's got wins there with Atletico Madrid. You know what I mean? So these are the kind of players that I'm looking at to take a step up when we go and play. Real Madrid. To be fair, Fulham getting on the ball. Not looking intimidated by Arsenal at all. Not which is what you'd expect from them. We're going to have to go and impose ourselves on this game. When we can dominate the ball, I feel confident about us. But when the opposition dominates the ball, it could be a real problem for us. Let me know what you man think. Like I said, I'm still going to go 2-1. I'm leaning 2-1 Arsenal. I am leaning that direction. But let me know what you man think in the comments as well. And if you think Arsenal stand a chance against Real Madrid, if there's any chance, a lot of people were laughing at us. They thought, yeah, boom, once Arsenal got Madrid, you man are out. But I don't see it that way at all. I really don't. We've seen, like I say, PSG. We've seen what they did against Liverpool, and when we played them, didn't look too impressive. Timbers intercepted the ball here, Erdegaard on the ball. Fulham just have a lot of good defensive urgency. Like as soon as we get the ball, they're on us pretty quickly to win that ball back. And there's Raul Jimenez dispossessing Erdegaard. Martinelli again, another player. He had an injury before the international break. He was injured and he wasn't looking the sharpest. He was just working his way back into the team pre-international break. Lewis Skelly, of course, got his first England goal on his debut as well, which is huge. That must do like wonders for his confidence. So I think as a team, I think we're in a good place. I really do. And obviously, the big talking point is the fact that Bukayo Saka's back from that injury. We just look a little bit untidy on the ball. Fulham are really pressing us up high. And again, this is where I want to see Erdegaard getting on the ball and making smart decisions. And will be coming through with the ball. Solid tackle. I think that was Declan Rice. It must have been. Only Declan Rice makes tackles like that. Robinson battling his way through, gets beyond Timber. And Fulham playing really well. Open only 3 minutes in, but Fulham playing really well. Like I say, coming and getting the ball back quickly, not sitting in a low block, really pressing man for man and making it really difficult for Arsenal to get playing. What do you think about Saka being on the bench? I think it's the wrong decision. I think it's the right decision. We need to see where his injury's at. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously the medical team will look at him. A lot of people wanted him to start. It was on Twitter. Loads of Arsenal fans wanted him to start. I didn't want to see him start today. I think that's absolutely the right decision. The worst thing that could possibly happen is that he gets another serious injury, and is out for months, weeks or months. We don't even have weeks. We'll need him against Real Madrid. So we need him to be fit and ready for Real Madrid. If we start him and he picks up a knock, even if it just makes him out for 2 weeks, that's both Madrid games gone. Um, we should be able to get a win against Fulham without Bukayo Saka. And obviously, if it's late, last 10, 15 minutes, he can still come on. He can still come on and show a moment of magic. But I think, when you start him, you're putting a lot of pressure on him. You might start him with the intention of not playing him for the full 90, but if a couple of other players get injured and the opportunity doesn't come for you to take him off, then suddenly he plays the whole 90 minutes, and that's not what you wanted. You can't really control how many minutes somebody plays when they start. You can control it a lot better off the bench. And this is better from Arsenal, enjoying a little bit of the ball and just teasing Fulham out, and Lewis Skelly find himself in some space. We obviously just lack that creativity. We're still lacking a bit of creativity in the team. We're able to win the ball back. We're able to kind of get towards the final third. We can knock it around in our third. It's a good play from Declan Rice to drop in and just make a little angle for Partey. It's really good stuff from Declan Rice. It's not anything fancy. It's not anything fancy at all, but dropping in, creating an angle, just trying to. It's also very difficult to mark with his kind of movement. Arsenal medical team notorious for forcing players. So how do you believe them? They are ruining his career. I mean, well, he's on the bench, so you can't say that they've ruined his career. He's not played yet. If we win 2 or 3-0, then he probably won't play. Thomas Partey with a shot, and it's just gone wide. I don't believe the medical team. Anthony Martial career ruined by the medical team. Um, Yeah, I mean, like, you have to wait for it to happen. You could be right, but you have to wait for it to happen. You're saying that too early. Like I say, if Arsenal are winning 3-0 at half time, then Bukayo Saka never comes on. And then, at the same time, he needs 10 minutes of game time, because if he's going to play against Real Madrid, he can't have his first minutes of football after an injury be playing against Real Madrid away at the Bernabeu. He needs some game time to get him up to that speed, and to get his body used to the kind of impact he's going to have in tackles. But they're not starting him. So, if they started him, that would be ruining his career. But they haven't started him, So, yeah, I think that what you're saying, I understand where you're coming from, but I think ruining his career is a little bit strong when he's actually, like I say, not actually starting the game. So, I think, like I say, I think that we should be able to. Um, I personally think that we should be able to win this game, and give Fulham a good game, really win this game, really, if we're being honest, without Bukayo Saka, as far as I'm concerned. But he will need the match, he will need the minutes. Martinelli with a bit of a wayward ball over towards Wanyeri. I think we just have to be careful with Saka. But a lot of this stuff is, you can ruin a player's career with so many, in so many different ways. Yeah, that's why if I were Arteta, I would not play him for the whole season. Yeah, I don't. I mean, obviously, I don't think Arteta will force him to play if he's not fit enough to play. Um, Anytime you play a player, it's a risk. Obviously, it's a calculated risk. But the one trophy we really need is the only trophy we can win is the Champions League. We're up against Real Madrid, and we'll probably need him to play. You know, um, so it is what it is. So good ball there from Timber. A little bit wayward for Wanyeri. The communication wasn't quite there. Things like everyone recovers in different ways. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you can recover better playing, not a lot, but you play 5-10 minutes and you get match fit. If you rest too long, let's say we don't play him for the whole season, and we don't play him in pre-season, or we play him a little bit in pre-season, and then he comes in next season, his body might not be ready. Do you know what I mean? You can't. It's like a car. You can't skip gears. You know, you have to go first, second, third gear. If he tries to go from first gear or neutral, which is sitting on the sofa at home, to third or fourth gear in a professional game, you can get injured that way as well. So you need the minutes, and you need the right minutes. You know, like I say, if we can be winning in a league game, whether it's this game or Everton on the weekend, you know, if we can be 1 or 2 goals up and he can come on and cruise, you know, and just kind of control himself and play through his own gears at his own speed, that's perfect. But you know, this is football, so you can't. Things aren't always going to be exactly how you want them to be. Um, you know, and that's just the way that it is. And players, you know, when you talk about ruining someone's career, players want to play. You know, they want to play. Timber driving forward. Wanieri, what can we do? Can he find a pass? Doesn't look like there's a shot on. It was a decent pass, but I think it should have gone wide. Martinelli, Wanieri. Wanieri's done well. It's come all the way across. That's a good ball. Can he find a striker? Wanieri. That's such good play from Wanieri. Comes all the way across the left side. I think in the end he was just offside. Nathaniel Wagwan, what are you saying, my bro? Do I think Saka will play today? Yeah, I think we'll probably see him. I think we'll see him today. I think if he's on the bench, Arteta's clearly got the intention of playing him, but I think that he'll only play him if that Wanieri looks onside there. Didn't look offside at all. Looked well onside. But I think he'll only play him if we're in a comfortable position. Do you know what I mean? If we're 2-1 down or 2-0 down or something like that, I don't think he brings him on. I think if we're winning and we've got 5-10 minutes, bring him on, let him get a bit of match fitness, let him drop the shoulder against the fullback once or twice, but nothing too intense. But training is not playing. Do you know what I mean? And you can only get fit by playing. You can't get match fit by training. It's just impossible to do. Even if you play matches in training, it's not the same. And Wanyeri's still looking bright. He had during the international break, he was with the England under 21s. And I think he looked really good there as well. So he's continuing his development really, really well. There's the new sporting director for Arsenal as well. He's the man in charge of bringing in a new striker and bringing in new players. Man said we'll handle Nottingham for you today, bro. We're not competing with Nottingham. We're competing with Liverpool, blood. So you can beat Liverpool, that will help us. But you beating Nottingham don't do nothing for us, blood. You know what I'm saying? So, and you lot are going to draw today anyway. I don't think you beat Nottingham Forest at the City Ground as well. The City Ground is a very difficult place to go. I don't know if you guys can get a win there. I am going to keep an eye on that game as well. Gabriel does so well. I think Gabriel's got to be our player of the season. Amadou, you're saying it's a bad decision for the medical team, but you're not a doctor and neither am I. So I don't know. We don't know the details of his injury to be able to say that. You know what I'm saying? You could be right, but you could be wrong at the same time. We don't have enough information. Brilliant tackle from Timber. Gabriel's been stamped on by Raul Jimenez, and he's signaling for some treatment. But Arsenal are going to play. When he gets beyond Robinson, that's brilliant. Erdegaard, where are you going? Erdegaard, where are you going? Finds Marino. Rice is trying to signal to them to kick it out. But there's a good play there. Oh, and that was a good ball in the box from Timber as well. Rice is they're trying to signal to the players, to the attackers, to get the ball out, but the attackers are having absolutely none of it. They can see an opportunity to get a goal, and they want to take that opportunity, and arguably rightly so. But if Fulham counter, then we won't have any defence. Wanyeri standing up, ball into the box. Wanyeri again. It was a really good play from Arsenal. And Thomas Partey gives it away. And now like Gabriel's trying to hobble. Lewis Skelly's come all the way across to battle with Adama. Adama has to physically push him off of him. And Lewis Skelly, you can see, he's pretty pissed off because he can obviously, he wanted that ball out. And this is a problem Arsenal have made for themselves because Declan Rice is signalling to put the ball out, and Fulham are not putting the ball out, and Fulham aren't going to put the ball out because we played when we were playing. So all the Arsenal players are complaining now to put the ball out, but you know, we've done it to ourselves here. And now it goes out for a corner, and Gabriel can get some treatment. I said, yes, I'm not a doctor, but from the history of both our clubs, have bad record of handling this decisions like this. No, yeah, but like I said, every muscle injury is different. If I have a thigh injury and you have a thigh injury, the two thigh injuries are not the same two thigh injuries. So we can't say, do you mean like, you know, there's no, and it looks like Gabriel just pulled up. There's no contact. He just pulled up, and he looks like he's probably going to have to come off, and that's a big blow. That is a really big blow. 15 minutes in. But no, you can't, like I said, bro, you can't just say that because Anthony Martial's injury could be nothing like Saka's injury. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's doctors that get paid a lot of money to make those decisions. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know that the doctors forced Anthony Martial to play. My memory is that Anthony Martial spent bare time out injured. So how could the doctors force him to play? He was always injured. Do you know what I mean? You're moving like, you know, they were forced him to play on crutches. Like they didn't. When he was injured, he was just injured. And that's that. Do you know what I'm saying? Rashford played with like injections and stuff like that. But again, that's partly down to Marcus Rashford himself. Gabriel coming off looking very unhappy. And that is a big blow. I was just saying he's the player of the season for me. He's been the best Arsenal player this season, and they've got Kivior coming on now. And that is a huge blow. But I will say I prefer Kivior at centre back than I do at left back. Kivior's a bit of a nightmare at left back, to be fair. And they've got a corner now as well. So let's see. Fulham are good from set pieces as well. They've got Jimenez, he's dangerous. Corner comes in, goes towards the back post. They try to head it back into the box, but Rice gets there first. Martial said in the early time of Ollie, he told him he didn't feel right, and they said he can play. Yeah, but that's like I say, bro. That's them, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Like it could be a different situation. I don't know. I don't know what the situation at the club was. If they didn't have enough players, are they fighting for a title? Like I say, like you can't just copy and paste because it didn't work out for him. It's not going to work out for somebody else. Do you know what I mean? But like I say, he's not even playing anyway. He's only on the bench. He's not even playing. He's not starting. But I don't think the two situations are you know as similar as you're making them seem. Every situation is different. Because otherwise, like when you have players that have a recurring injury, they'll never be fully 100% fit again ever. So what happens? We just never play them. Like we had Abu Diaby, he would spend years out injured and just not be right when he came back. Fulham get a cross into the box, but David Raya gathers. Erdegaard. Something that we'll want Erdegaard to improve on is the attacking transition. You know, people complaining that when we're in attacking transition, he tends to slow the game down, and I want to see him just continue with the flow. He did go sideways there, but didn't slow the game down really. Martinelli got a cross into the box. The ball's bouncing around in the box still. Wanyeri, what can you do? And Robinson has now caught Timber out of position. Thomas Partey, great tracking and tackle. Brilliant tracking and tackle from Thomas Partey. You look at Thomas Partey, like loads of people feel like we rushed him back from certain injuries, and he's playing the best football of his Arsenal career this season. He's been injured every year since we bought him. He's been injured every year for the last 3 years. I never thought that we would see a season when Thomas Partey could start. Do you know what I mean? In fact, I was talking about this earlier. I was saying like, I don't know if you're here for it, but I was talking about them earlier. So I think that Erdegaard's more technical and more gifted than Bruno. I don't even think that's controversial. Like, that's not up for debate in any way, shape, or form. But football is also about output, and the output that Bruno has is undeniable, and is particularly impressive when his team's gone from fourth all the way down to 15th, and he's still putting out really good levels of output. So I said, Bruno Fernandes has been brilliant this season. He's been brilliant, period, but he's been brilliant. Um, you know, Shane, just bro, you should be here streaming. Man United's playing as well. You should be here streaming. So, you know what I'm saying? Certain amount of part time, but it's cool, isn't it? But yeah, I think Erdegaard's more talented than Bruno, but it's about output. That's what it is. That like there's players out there that are maybe more talented than Salah, but football is about output, and Salah's got the top output. So that's just what it is. Do you know what I mean? I don't know that we can say um and Arsenal just lost the ball and the defender just slipped on the floor. Okay, we've got defensive numbers back now. That was nearly an absolute howler. That was nearly back to classic Arsenal again. Who was that fellow? Probably Kivior. Ahmad said, "Yeah, I agree. Erdegaard's better." Again, I'm not saying he's better. I'm not saying Erdegaard is better. I'm saying I think he's more talented, but it's not necessarily better. Do you know what I mean? But Erdegaard's always been more talented, right? Bruno kind of, Bruno's a talented player. Erdegaard is, one of the top technical players at 15, 16 years old. He was like an Ethan Wanyeri, right? He was like a child prodigy of football. Didn't work out for him at Real Madrid, like I said, but in terms of just pure natural talent, clearly it's Erdegaard. But what Bruno can do, I think Bruno's a lot braver. Martinelli, that's a good drive into the box. Ethan Wanyeri, what a strike that is off the bounce. The balls come at him at pace, bouncing. Ethan Wanyeri still able to get a good, clean shot on the ball. I think Odegaard's better on the ball. I think Bruno's probably better off the ball. His off the ball work, his movement, um, I think those things are better. It's very, very close. It's very close, very competitive, but they're two very different types of midfielder, in my opinion. Bruno's definitely a lot braver. Odegaard's a lot tidier. But it's a good conversation. For sure, it's a good conversation. I'll take Odegaard over Bruno. Odegaard suits Arsenal better than Bruno does. But we could do it with Bruno, a midfielder that's going to shoot when the opportunity isn't always so clean. Yeah, Odegaard's better to watch, but there are wingers out there, like I say, you look at Salah, there are wingers out there that are better to watch than Salah, but it don't matter, does it? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Adama Traore's just slipped over, but he's there picking up the ball. You look at Adama, for example. Adama's so exciting to watch. Awful output. Awful. Absolutely awful. Barely scores, barely effective, but he's exciting. He's quick, powerful. Thomas Partey just dealt with Robinson again. Talent and output are two different things, Shane said. Pogba is probably more talented than Gerrard, but he ain't a better player. I think Gerrard is a bad example because I'm not sure that Pogba is more talented than Gerrard, but I get your point. Yeah, I think Gerrard is probably a bad because Gerrard is actually a supremely talented. If you said like Lampard or someone, I think that makes more sense. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why even as an Arsenal fan, I'm not just sitting here saying Erdegaard's better. Like you have to give Bruno his flowers for the output that he does, regardless of how good or bad his team's performing. And Fulham coming forwards here, but Arsenal said no more room at the inn. Good defending from Arsenal and good defending from Thomas Partey. For a DM, the defensive side of his game is generally the weakest side, but he's done it well today so far. Alanga just scored a soda. Oh my days! But man said, don't worry, we will deal with Nottingham Forest for you, brother. Bro, Nathaniel, bro. What? I try to tell you, man. I try to tell you, man, bro. Like you man ain't beating. You man ain't beat. Though, yo, every time I come on stream, yeah, it might seem like I hate foreigners, but I don't in it. Do you know what I'm saying? Us black people have to stick together in that. Do you know what I'm saying? Free the man then. But big man thing, yeah, foreign fans don't get it. Like there's certain grounds in the Premier League that are very difficult to go and play at, and one of those grounds is the City ground. The City ground is not an easy place to go and play, and you man are kind of trash. Like, do you know what I mean? So like, is yeah. I try to warn you, man, on a bit on a level. No, Gerald is talented, but he worked tremendously hard. Pogba is effortless. Yeah, Pogba's probably more talented than Saka's on the sidelines hugging Iwobi and Calvin Bassey. Bro, even the ops, even Calvin Bassey and Iwobi are hugging Saka and happy to see him back, bro. That's Saka has the streets, bro. Saka has the streets, bro. Everyone loves him. Everybody loves him. Yeah, and if you man are 1-0 down against Nottingham Forest, it could potentially be a long day for you, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It could potentially be a long day for you. Let me go and check that Iwobi goal on Twitter because not Iwobi, sorry, Alanga. I'm getting mixed up with all the black people like this peak. Let me see this goal. Oh, it came from a Man United corner. Man United corner. And Elanga's just darted the whole length of the pitch. Oh, who's that? Garnacho. He just shrugged him off. Oh, bruv. That's a rude goal. That is a rude goal, bro. Can I say, you man's goalkeeper's trash, by the way. Anana's trash. And are we all agreeing that Anana's actually trash? Imagine we sell Elanga and keep Garnacho. Yeah, that's your club, bro. That's Man United, isn't it? Like that's just what it is. Rashford and Alanga are both gone. Rashford and Alanga are both gone, but you man have got Garnacho. Deep it. Think about it. Arsenal still not being the tidiest with the ball, just playing out from the back, not really being the tidiest, and which is to be expected because you've got Marino, don't really want to play it into his feet. That's not how he plays. And then you've got Wanyeri. They can play it into Wanyeri, but they still, I feel like, are under instruction not to put too much pressure on him. It seems like they don't want to play the ball to him unnecessarily, unless it's in that attacking third. In the attacking third, I think they really rate him, but they don't want to put too much pressure on him from a defensive perspective. So they don't look to play out through Wanyeri. They look to play out through Rice or maybe Martinelli on the left hand side. Speaking of Martinelli, here he is now up against Timothy Castagna. And he's cooked Timothy Castagna a few times. Lewis Skelly, not the best ball in, but Marino drops it down. Partey. If there's going to be a goal, it's going to come from this left hand side, I feel like. Great little turn from Rice. Lovely turn. Martinelli going to look for a cross in the box. He is. There's a cross in the box there. It's blasted away from Fulham. We're slightly putting it on Fulham. Like, do you know what I mean? I think Martinelli's doing really well. Really, really well. You can already see Martinelli's output has dropped massively. It's almost a very good ball into Wanyeri's feet. Almost. You can see Martinelli's levels dropped off this season 100%. But if he had a proper striker, like I said earlier in the stream, we're talking about Arsenal looking at Gyökeres. If Martinelli's playing with Gyökeres and he batters the full. Don't know what happened there. Just my stream just kicked me off the stream. But I was saying, if Martinelli played with a proper striker, Raul Jimenez could be in here. We have to not dive in. He's going to look for a shot. It's a poor decision. He had options around him. Should have probably looked for a pass. Martinelli's levels dropped off. But I tell you what, if he played with a proper striker like a Gyökeres or someone like that he could aim for with some of these crosses, because he's cooking Timothy Castagna, whipping crosses in. Give this guy a good striker. You'll see that level go up. 100%. People are looking at it like, well, we can sign Nico Williams. Nico Williams, listen, I'm not mad at that. But if we sign a proper striker, Timber's down on the floor as well. Is he just putting up his socks or is he injured? Timber's down injured as well. Oh my days. Bro, we're 28 minutes in and it's two injuries. Two injuries. Anana is a clown. Anana's trash. I don't know why you man ever thought Anana was somebody. Like Anana is nothing. Like he's trash. And Timber looks like he took a big knock in that shot on Raul Jimenez from Raul Jimenez. Hopefully, you don't have to go off injured, but it doesn't look good. Injury FC, bro. The injuries that we're getting and the injuries we've got, bro. Even I know we're far off Liverpool. You know, we're not really challenging them, but 30 games in to be second with it. Remember, yeah, when Liverpool had an injury crisis, yeah, these man weren't even in the Champions League the following year. Like when Liverpool had injury crisis, they were fucked. Like for us to have the injuries that we've got and still finish the league second, bro, I don't think that's terrible. Like man can banter us all they want. We haven't won a league title, whatever. I get all that in it. Like the ops are gonna banter us, but to have these injuries, you know, and still come in and do this job and still come in and come second. Just looking at the bench, like who have we got? Zinchenko, Tierney. He might even put Partey right back and bring on Jorginho, which I have a feeling is what he would do. It looks like Timber's going to get up, and it looks like he's going to want to play through it. So looking at that again, Raul Jimenez cuts inside as he goes for the shot. Yeah, his knee just his boots just catch Timber's knee. I think is he going to try? He's still hobbling. Is he going to try and play on? I think he is going to try and play on. Banana being black and committing a crime, bro. Yeah, bro. He's a mad thing. You rather buy Martinelli than buy Nico Williams. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying buying Nico Williams without buying a proper striker. If we buy Nico Williams and we still have Havertz as our number nine, I don't know what people are expecting him to do. He will run into the same problems in 6 months. People will be saying, "What was the point? You know, we should have just used Martinelli." Blah 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 blah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we can see Martinelli's output. Obviously, in an ideal world, we'll get both. We need cover for our wingers anyway, but our wingers are not going to get the best out our best output when we don't have a proper striker. We have Jesus, who plays kind of a false nine. He's had injury problems since he's came in. The most consistent number nine we've had who hasn't had injury problems has been Havertz. He's got a big injury this season, but he's not even a striker. So the main focus is a striker. If what I'm saying is, if I could only sign Nico Williams on left wing and have Havertz as our starting number nine, or start with Saka and Martinelli out wide, but have Gyökeres, I'd have Gyökeres. If we can get both, then that's great. But if we can only get one, the striker has to be the priority. That's what I'm saying. Anan is terrible, by the way. Still terrible. He can kick sometimes, but even then, his kicking isn't even consistent. But that's what he's branded on. He's branded on distribution. Do you know what I'm saying? Less of the drug distribution, man. Less of the Ozark. Man, don't care about that. I don't know that again. Like Martinelli's better than Nico Williams. I don't know if he's better. I think they're probably. I think they're the same. I just think they're very different styles, and what we do need is someone who's more direct. But Martinelli can do direct, but he just doesn't do it on a regular basis. Bro, Nico going to Barcelona. I just want a new left winger. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I just want a new left. We need a new winger. Period. Do you know what I mean? We need to get that left side operating properly because we've got Saka and Wanyeri off the right. It doesn't look like we'll get a right winger because it looks like Wanyeri will just do that backup job to Saka, which I personally am very happy with. Like that works fine for me. But the left side is so dysfunctional. Bringing in a striker is part of it. Bringing in a striker is definitely part of it. But with Martinelli and Trossard over there, we might need another option. We may well need another option over there. Cross into the box, Burn Leonard's gathered. Yeah, lots of stuff I don't like about Martin Odegaard is like his off the ball work. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't find him making a lot of space for players. There's a moment there when Yeri's got the ball, he's surrounded by 4 or 5 players, and he has to do like a kind of unconventional pass to get the ball to Odegaard. Odegaard could take a couple of steps to make that far easier. Declan Rice, I think, is playing really, really well as he does on a regular basis. Amadiano said Nico is trash. World Cup hype. Well, trash is over the top. I think he's overrated. I do think he's overrated, but I wouldn't say trash. I think trash is a little bit harsh. There's better options out there for sure. There's better options for sure. And again, we get the ball to Wanyeri, and he's all on his own. I'm looking at Erdegaard, and Erdegaard is doing nothing to make a friendly angle for him. Do you know what I mean? And make it as easy as possible. Martinelli against Castagna again. It's been a good battle. Well, I'll say a good battle. It's been a good battle for us because Martinelli's been cooking him, but we still need a goal. Yeah, apparently, Gukra is a good shout. Apparently, obviously Isak would be the number one choice, but like I said, Isak they're gonna want between 100 and 150 million. And I'm like, bro, is he double Gukares? I don't know if he is, bro, because if we get Gukares for 60, apparently he's got a release clause of like 70, 75, but the club is probably open to deals around 60, 65 million for a striker like Gukares. We can do that. You know what I'm saying? That works for us. And then we could put that other 60, 70 million um into other options around the pitch, because getting Isak out of Newcastle right now is going to be, you're looking close to 150 million pound, close to 150 million pound. That's not going to leave us any room to buy another attacking midfielder or buy another winger. So, do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's not my money, but we got to be economical. You know what? Mitoma is someone I've thought about. I was going to say Mitoma, even that Baleba. I like Baleba a lot, from Brighton, but Mitoma I do like as well, for sure, 100%. Very different sort of style. He's like Martinelli's quite rapid and frantic. Do you know what I mean? He's kind of a kick and run player. Mitoma's a little bit slower, but a little bit more controlled, a little bit more like a Saka. I think Mitoma would be a great shout. And like you say, plays very similar style to how we would want to play. So great ball through. Even when Yeri cuts the ball back across, can we get a shot away? Is it in? Ah, it's in! No way that's gone in. 1-0 Arsenal. Come on, my guy, My guy, Mikel Marino. I was about to say, bro, he fluffed that shot. He fucked that shot up, bro. How that's gone in, we are so lucky that has gone in. We are so, so lucky that's gone in. 1-0 Arsenal. Do you know what I'm saying? You man are 1-0 down to Nottingham Forest and that. We're one up against Fulham, blood. Do you know what I'm saying? Our clubs are not the same, blood. Do you know what I mean? Mikel Marino, he deserves it, bro. He deserves it, man. I'm so happy to no. I'll tell you what, I'll pay you 15 million if you keep him. I'll pay you money to keep Rasmus Højlund away from Arsenal, bro. He's trash, bro. Let's see this again. Timber, Anthony Robertson caught the wrong side, and Wanyeri Wanyeri is actually so good, and it takes a heavy deflection, but it's still going to go down as Marino's goal because the shot was on side. Wanyeri, bro, you know what, big man thing, yeah, man, yeah. Wanyeri's the truth, you know that, like, are you man aware of that, like? Let me just change the scoreline. Are you man aware of that? Like, Wanyeri is the truth, Seriously, this guy's a baller, bro. He is a baller. I'll take Amad Diallo though. I'll take Ahmad. You might wanna do a little business deal. How much would you shot Ahmad for? I reckon a little 35 mil for Amad Diallo. Take that. Rasmus Højlund's trash. He's the worst striker in the league. He's the worst number 9 in the league. Now we're winning 1-0, man. open my popcorn, blood. Do you know what I'm saying? Ranieri's serious, bro. I can't believe this guy is like just turning 18. If he gets any goal or assist against Real Madrid, yeah, scenes. The scenes will be crazy. Game management now. Last 5 minutes before plus added time. Game management. Because Fulham won't go away that easy. Nah, bro. We're not buying anybody from Chelsea. Anybody. Them man are trash. I don't even know if I'll take Cole Palmer. I hate Chelsea that much. If you touch the Chelsea shirt, I don't want it. I won't even beat Gal that support Chelsea. I don't even beat Gal called Chelsea. Man ain't on it. Big man thing. Xerxes trash, bro. What about Xerxes? Bro, Xerxes trash, bro. No, I wouldn't take Xerxes. No way. Big man thing. Xerxes not trash, but he's trash. The joy about Xerxes, yeah? Xerxes fat, bro. Like, Xerxes just like, he can't run. He can't. He's techie, yeah, but he can't run. Like, I've never seen someone that techie that can't run. You play for Arsenal, you got to be able to run, bro. How's Martinelli on the floor, bro? Is that not a foul? Lewis Skelly looks for the cross. I thought he was going to shoot, you know. Timber battling with Robinson. This is a great battle. Robinson's a player, you know. You man should have looked at Robinson before you looked at that Dorgu. Lewis Skelly. And Lewis Skelly just getting foul after foul, bro. Ref. What we doing, bro? I got the game here on my TV and my laptop here, but my laptop's flipping ahead of my TV, so. What's you man scores, bro? You man still losing. You man still losing, bro. All the home teams are winning 1-0. Wolves winning 1-0 as well. Yeah, man wouldn't. Xerxes not even trash yet, but Xerxes just doesn't fit our style of play at all. He's not a Arteta player at all. Is that not a foul? This ref is taking the piss, bro. Man, let's get a shot on target here. We've got numbers. Martinelli, go direct. Oh, Erdegaard. It's good play, to be fair. It's good connection from Erdegaard to get that shot off first time. Timber just slightly overcomplicating things. Would you not sell Xerxes, bro? Because I swear, like a month ago or like a couple weeks ago, he wanted to leave, bro. He wanted to go back to Italy or something, and now he's flavour of the month and that. Now, man, love him. I know Ranters always like Xerxes, but some of your fans weren't on him before. Adama coming forwards. Rice was looking to clamp him. You know, you could see Rice looking to clamp him, bro. This is Andres Pereira. Good defending from Saliba. Arsenal just looking a bit nervous. Taking the foot off the gas a little bit, almost too worried about conceding. We do this a lot once we score. Get a little bit nervous. cross comes in and David Rice tipped that up for a corner. That was an awkward cross. That was a good cross. Like an awkward one for the keeper to deal with. Because you can't really leave it, but it's too high for him to gather it as well. Because it's a Dharma Traore, I think he could have got away with leaving it because Dharma's kind of trash, but 44 minutes in, we just need game management, man. Then game management. That's all we need right now. Let's not concede from here, please. Corner comes in. Can we get there first? We do get there first, to be fair. I think that was Kivior. Good contact. Not the biggest defender, Kivior. Obviously, one of them fullback, centre back hybrids, so not really a out and out centre back. Cross comes in, defended again. Martinelli. He should be confident and just take this, but I don't think he's going to. And he just popped it off for Wanyeri, but I would have liked to see Martinelli just run that. We've got 4 minutes of added time. There's a little bit of space there. I think a fully confident Martinelli just takes that ball and goes direct. I think that's what you need to get that confidence back. Martin Odegaard coming forward. We're a couple minutes from half time. Let me get to half time and then we can talk about Bivol for sure. We've got some boxing coming up for you, man, as well. Let me think about what's next for Bivol because, yeah, it's all looking a bit peak right now. Good game management so far from Arsenal. Nothing silly. I think we could be 2-0 up right now. Like we've had a few good chances this half. I think we had one that Odegaard should have scored. I think Wanyeri and Martinelli have both been really, really good. Really good. Martinelli's been good creativity. Again, just lacking a striker, but I'm glad Marino just kind of snatched at that shot when he had sort of half a chance. And that's what we need. That's what I think Bruno's good at. As much as he's not as technical as Odegaard, he'll try things a lot more. Martinelli goes for a ball straight through. Is that offside? And it looks like, oh yeah, it's offside. Marino's just hasn't quite got that movement to beat the offside line, but he's not a striker, so just seeing that goal again. Build-up play is very tasty, I'm not going to lie. Coming up to half time. And, I wouldn't say comfortable because we're only 1-0 up, but reasonably comfortable from a defensive perspective anyway. Attacking wise, is the ref going to blow there for half time? And he's going to let the game go. And it's one of those, I'm going to say the same thing I say every week when it comes to watching Arsenal. If we had a striker, we'd be 2 up. Oh, Thomas Partey, risky. Thomas Partey, risky, bro. Heads it back to the goalkeeper, and Raul Jimenez is standing like a yard away from him. That is so dangerous. I've seen Scholes make them kind of mistakes. The keeper gathered, so we're good. Game management here, boys. Lewis Skelly's pulled to the floor, but the ref gives the foul. Lukic not happy. Arsenal trying to catch Fulham out with Martinelli. That touch is just too heavy. Martinelli did well there. It's good running, but the touch was just a little bit off. And that's half time. That is half time. I'll check the scores in the other games as well. Half time in Wolves versus West Ham. Wolves are 1-0 up there as well. And there's Larson that's scored. Larson's been on fire. And 10 minutes left in the Man United game. Let me see if I can put that one on my TV. Put the Man United game on. Is that on TV? It is on TNT here. I'll watch bit of the United game, 34 minutes in, while I talk to you like half time in the Arsenal game. And again, like I said before, bro, in terms of this game, it's just a case of if we have a proper striker, we're probably 2, maybe even 3-0 up. And we create so much. I don't even think we necessarily need an Isak or something. Like we've got so much creativity. Guarnieri on the right hand side, nightmare. You know, up against Robinson. Robinson is one of the best left backs in the league. Definitely the best left back in the league outside of the big six. You know, you're looking at Robinson or maybe Kirkers at Bournemouth. And Guarnieri doing really well. You know, good battles with him, good crosses into the box, all that good stuff, doing really well. And on the other side, Martinelli, very similar, what we'd expect from him, but you know, good close control, which is normally the weaker side of his game. And we know once he cuts in, creates space, he can, you know, burn a fullback for pace on the outside, showing again that he can cut in. He seemed to have lost that a little bit. And getting good crosses into good areas in the box. So both of them nightmares, and we just don't have a striker that can get on the end of it. The makeshift striker though gets another goal in Marino, and I'll tell you what, his goal return since played at number 9 is not terrible, to be fair. So, you know, but yeah, you know, Fulham are a very, very live team. They're a very physical team as well. Obviously, Gabriel going off injured is a worry. Timber taking a knock is also a worry. When you've got those physical players, when you've got those physical players, you're up against Raul Jimenez, you're up against Adama Traore. It can be tough. You know, we don't really want either of them isolating Kivior. We saw earlier in the season what happens when Mateta isolated Kivior and was able to get a goal. So we really don't want Kivior isolated against one of the big, strong attackers. But so long as we can stop that from happening and Rice is dropping back and helping out, we should be good. And I think that we should be able to go through and get ourselves another couple of goals in the second half, provided nobody else gets injured as well. And maybe we see Saka for 5-10 minutes. But the way the game's going, although it's only 1-0, we're definitely the more attacking side. We're definitely, you know, 50-50 in possession, but when they've got the ball, they're not creating too much. When we've got the ball, you know, we're creating chances on a regular basis. So for me, hopefully we don't see Saka today. I don't think we really need to see him today. Save him for 5-10 minutes against Everton or someone like that, and just spare him for today. But that's my thoughts anyway. 36 minutes gone in the Manchester United game, and you know, FTXer was asking what is next for Bivol. Well, you know, this is the question. I mean, you know, this is all about Eddie Hearn for me. You know, it's about Bivol as well, but this is very much about Eddie Hearn and his kind of power battle between him and Turkey Al Sheikh, because obviously, you know, I think there's a mandatory fight there for him to fight. I think Turkey said that he wanted the trilogy fight, and Bivol said he doesn't want the trilogy fight. He's more interested in going and fighting David Benavidez. That means that you might have to relinquish certain belts. So it's all political. It's all political for him. You know, if Beterbiev fights on, I think we'll see the trilogy fight at some later date. I wouldn't be surprised to see Beterbiev retire at this point in his career. But if he does fight on, then maybe we see that fight later on. But for right now, you know, it's got to be David Benavidez. That's what we have to see fight wise, in my opinion. Looks like Ina's gone off injured for Nottingham Forest. It looks like Aina has got off injured there in the Manchester United game. Man United just probing. Who's up top for them? Xerxes. Bruno trying to get a shot away but wasn't able to. Elanga trying to get on the counter again. Elanga loves it, bro. That's what he does, man. Rapid on the counter, direct. That's what you want. To be fair, cross comes in for Man United. Doesn't go to much. I'm hearing Man United fans talk about selling Kobe Mano. Like, what's going on there? I thought he was like their crown jewel. Do you know what I mean? Apparently not. Casemiro diving, cheap. 5 Champions Leagues, man's diving. Nottingham Forest making 2 substitutions. Alex Moreno's come on, and it looks like Danilo's going to come off. 2 subs in. Obviously, the Aina one is from injury, but Danilo's coming off, and I don't think that's injury. It's a bit mad. Making subs in the 40th minute. United are probing hard for this for a goal here. Just not tidy enough, Man United. They're just not quite tidy enough. Who is that playing left wing? Who's Man United's team? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't really want to see a trilogy either. To be fair, he's beat him twice. He's beat him once, but really he's beat him twice. Is that Dorgu? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just going to be a big power battle. It's just going to be a big power battle, really. Um, and Turkey is going to learn that he works for the fighters, not the other way around. That's the problem. Yeah, yeah. I think I don't think there's anything to prove at this point. But Turkey can't have it all his own way, especially when you've got people that are not just champions but undisputed world champions. When you've got undisputed world champions, they call the shots. Nah, I had it. I had it. I was back in Beterbiev both times, but the second fight was clear. I had it Bivol by I think 2 rounds. I think I had it 8-4 for Bivol. Um, but very close fights. Very close fights. I think the first fight was Bivol by 1 round, even though I wanted Beterbiev to win, but I do think the first fight was Bivol by 1, in my opinion. But yeah, on the Arsenal game, like I said, I'm still just keeping an eye on this Man United game for any extra drama. But on the Arsenal game, yeah, we're seeing once again why a striker is just all we need. Like, honestly, we've got a half decent striker. We put a lot of these chances away. Fulham no shots on target. Arsenal have had 7 shots, 2 on target. Fulham have 2 shots, not a single shot on target at this point. Do you know what I mean? We've been offside twice, but we're creating chances. Do you know what I mean? We're getting good passes into the box. Do you know what I mean? Oh, you want Sesko? I like Sesko, I like Sesko still. I like him or Gyökeres. I think the only thing I have with Sesko is I don't think he's quite ready yet. Sesko is if we wanted to win the league in 2 years. Gyökeres is if we want to win the league next year. Like he's a little bit more polished. He's a little bit more ready than Sesko. For me, I think Sesko would come in and not quite be ready to be like a starter. Like he's younger. He's still a little bit raw. You know, he's not quite as experienced as Gyökeres. For me as well, Gyökeres has played in England. He played in the Championship, and I know the Championship doesn't have the quality that the Premier League has, but the Championship, from a physical perspective, the Championship is rough. That is a rough league to play in. 2 years of Championship experience for me is really, really solid. Any experience of playing in England, I think, is really important for anyone that we're looking at signing. That's why flipping Isak is so expensive, bro. Because obviously he's at Newcastle, but it's also that Premier League experience. So, I mean, having the experience of playing in England, understanding the physicality of the football is something else. You know, Sesko physically dominant, but he's playing in Germany. It's not a very physical league at all. So that's my only concern of him. This game is scrappy, man. Nottingham Forest, of course, in the FA Cup semi-final against Man City. How many minutes at a time is there in this game? 6 minutes at a time. Might be longer now. It looks like there's a head clash between Delit and Awani. Delit goes flying in. Could probably even be a yellow card for Delit there. It actually be a yellow card for Delit. What the hell? He's injured himself, but should still be a yellow card. Yeah, Delit's lucky not to get away without a yellow card there. Turkey will get his way. The Saudis will have to have a black Mercedes pulling up at Eddie's house at 3 a.m. Yeah, but bro, Bivul's Russian, so if there's anyone that they can't really bully Russians like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the more you try to bully them, the more they'll dig their heels in. Like you can't really buy Russians. Like them man have got bare bread. Like, do you know what I mean? You can't really buy Russians, bro. That's the problem. If Bivol was American, it would be different. It'd be a lot easier. But Bivol being Russian is something else. And Eddie thinks he has a good relationship with Bivol. He probably does have a decent relationship with Bivol, but Eddie don't have the control over Bivol that he has over like an AJ or someone like that. He can't sway him like that. Arsenal coming out for the second half. Bivol with some off-brand Russian. Yeah, it's because he's half Chinese. He's like half Chinese. It's like half Chinese or Thai or something like that. Like that's just like that's a mad fighting combination. Like Russian and Thai. Like he's definitely part. He's from like the Asian. He's like the Asian side of Russia. So he's like, if anything, he's extra unbullyable. Like Benavides fight would be interesting. Yeah, facts. That's the fight everyone wants to see. That's the logical fight for him. Like Benavides is um after them two, after Bivol and Beterbiev, like Benavides is probably the next main guy at 175. Although his power hasn't really travelled up to 175 with him. Little flick on for Garnacho. Could he be in? No, he can't. Part Korean. There you go. And them man are kind of unbelievable as well, but you know what I'm saying? So it's all political. Like this is why one man can't go into boxing and just run boxing like they can go in and run MMA. MMA is not political like that. Boxing is. Arsenal about to kick off for the second half. Arsenal have kicked off for the second half. I said I think we'd win 2-0, maybe 2-1. Wasn't too confident about keeping a clean sheet because I know Fulham are a really solid team, and I'm still not super confident about a clean sheet given that Gabriel's gone off injured. But we look good in that first half. I can't lie. Not amazing, like we're not slapping teams 5-0 or nothing, but we look good. The creativity from the wings is good. Yeah, looks like it. Looks like the next two fights will be DeBoer and Parker. Looks like it. Looks like maybe he wants to stay away from Caballero with the body shots. Wanyeri, his first opportunity. That's a great turn from Partey. A great turn from Partey. I think Partey caught the Fulham player there with a bit of a foul, but we're going to play on. Nope. Ref stopped it. I think that was a sly foul from Partey. I just think the ref missed it. I know he got the ball. Partey went straight through the ball there, to be fair. Bro, there's no way. If Bivol gets his government involved, it's peak. Do you know what I'm saying? If Bivol gets his government involved, then it's extra peak, bro. Like Russians are not just all Russians, yeah. Like they represent Russia in the eyes of their government, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? They're not just like individuals. Like if you're British, you can kind of do what you want, and you're just British. Like the Russian government won't have it. I don't know what Jimenez is doing, bro. Long ball over the top from Raya finds Marino really well. Erdegaard, what are you doing? I don't know what he was doing there, bro. He should have just cut that back. It's like he had an idea in his mind and he couldn't stop himself. Marino did well. Erdegaard gets the ball, and then there's nothing in there. You've just taken the first of all, the cross is dead, but you've just taken the ball off the striker. So who are you expecting to be in there? Erdegaard, good tackle. Rare to see Erdegaard making tackles in the first place, to be fair. Fulham, big switch. Traore. If Fulham are going to score, I want us to be 2-0 up before they score. You know, if they equalise and it's 1-1, it could be scary times for us. Timber does really well. Wanyeri, find a sensible pass. Who's showing for him? Everyone's backing off from him. It's a good pass over to Lewis Skelly. Martinelli, that's it. Isolate Castagna like you did first half towards the byline, all across the box. I want to see Martinelli cut in and shoot, man, because all this ball across the box thing, like I hear it, but it's not. It's a great tackle from Timber. Marino onto Wanieri, and the whistle's gone offside. Timber's playing really well. Some really solid tackles from Timber all game. It's unfortunate Wanieri just offside. Yeah, Martinelli getting to the byline and whipping crosses in like this good. It's definitely like something he needs to do. Erdegaard with another tackle. Can Marino just hold it up? He does. Martinelli. There's no one to aim at now. He gets the byline, puts the ball back. Erdegaard hits it over. Erdegaard's been in that position 2 or 3 times this game. One of them, to be fair, Leno made a good save. And that's good play from Martinelli. But once or twice, I'd like to see him just mix it up and get in there and get a shot away. Because we're playing with a makeshift striker. We're not even playing with a proper striker. So, you're okay, fine. That time he cut it back to Erdegaard, and that makes sense. But sometimes when you're knocking the ball in the air, I don't know who you're expecting to get that ball. Who are you expecting to get that ball? But Erdegaard's good. Like he's adding some pressing and passing and some pressing and tackling to his game, which we don't normally see. Saka's just skipping away up and down the line. I think the fans are giving him big rounds of applause every time he's getting warmed up. Again, the two defenders just slipped there. And Lewis Skelly gets the ball away as a big shot against David Raya, and Lewis Skelly does well to deal with that. He was on his own. He just sent it out for tackle, but Saliba and Partey both slipped over, and then Timber slipped over. Or Timber went for a slide tackle and missed it. And Jimenez just snatched it. He just went for a shot for power, but Rice, good tackle. That's got to be a yellow card. Ref, that's got to be a yellow card on Andreas. Yes. On Anderson, sorry, not Andreas. But Marino has to pop that ball off there. He receives the ball in the middle of the park and then he just starts trying to run with it. You're not fast, bro. Where are you trying to run to? Just turn and release the ball to Marino. Release the ball to Wanieri. Don't know where he's trying to run to. They're dragging us into a bit of a scrappy game. More scrappy than it needs to be, in my opinion. Martinelli's got a little bit of space to aim at. Good touch from Martinelli. Good touch. It's a good pass as well into Erdegaard. Referee. It's a poor pass in there in the final third. A poor pass. Play on. One of their players is down injured. I don't give a fuck. Play on. The man fouling us in that. Bun them, man. Cook him. Cook him, Martinelli. Cook him. Cook him. Ball into the box. Put it on these man, bro. We're letting these man get away with murder, bro. Erdegaard. Great ball through. Oh, Timber should have scored. Timber, you should have scored. Criminal. Leno's down injured. Timber, you should have scored, brother. That was good play, though. That was really good play. Little 1-2 with Erdegaard. And he just lashes that ball into Leno's chest, blood. He just went for straight power. Same thing that Jimenez done the other side. Man didn't look for no placement at all, bro. He just tried to lick that as hard as he could. Said, bun it. It's better, though. It's better. Would still like to see Martinelli just cut inside sometimes, look for a shot, go direct, go on your own. Because we just don't have that striker in there. Do you know what I'm saying? If we had an Isak, if we had a Gyökeres, if we had a Šeško, cutting down to the byline and getting the shot away would make perfect sense. But we don't have any of those targets to aim at. So you're better off just getting a shot away. Just get in there, get a shot away. I think Marino's more likely to score on a keeper kind of parrying it back into his own box and on a second follow up than he is beating a centre back in the air for a header. That's just me. I know he's good in the air. I know he's good with headers, but the crosses aren't quite precise enough. You've got to have the right movement as a striker. I'm not sure that he can do it, but sometimes make it easier for him. And just switch it up for the sake of the defender, or it's going to get too predictable. Saliba with a good header. Declan Rice too strong, and now we go. Erdegaard's in bags of space, and Declan Rice got his pocket picked by Robinson. And Smith Rowe just overhit the pass in behind. Smith Rowe don't really want to score against us, man. I can tell. He don't really want to. I mean, he don't really want to score against the man. Then he's pretending. Lewis Skelly, such a powerful runner. Lukic is on him. That's just 2 fouls in there. 2 fouls. Lukic got to get a yellow card. Once he gets running, it's so difficult to stop him. He's just too strong and too powerful, bro. And it's a yellow card for Lukic. Lukic fouled him about 3 times in that play. It's good running from us. We've got Rice in there to aim at. We've got Marino in there to aim at. Oh, it was Saliba. Cross came in. Saliba got a head on it, but just a little bit too high. Arsenal can go and get a second goal, man. I can feel it. I think Fulham can feel it as well. Every time we break, they're just looking to foul. Timber does well to cut that ball out. They're trying to get round us to get to Robinson, but Timber and Robinson had a good battle, man. They've had a really good battle so far this game. Kivior's done well since she's come on as well. Don't want to jinx it. Erdegaard, nice. The passing's really nice, really fluid. Martinelli up against Castagna. Lewis Skelly's overlapping. Goes for a corner though. That pass from Martinelli wasn't really friendly. It just kind of left Lewis Skelly a bit short. Castagna was able to dive in, but went out for a corner. Still 1-0 in all the games. Nothing new in Wolves or Wolves against West Ham either. Declan Rice going to set up for this corner. Corner comes in, so back post. And it's gone. Is that gone for a corner again? I didn't even see what happened. Looked like Martinelli at the back post. Is that a head? I think it was a header. It was Martinelli back post heading, you know. That's mad. Corner comes in from the other side. Ball falls to Kivior. It was Marina. It wasn't even Kivior, it was Marina. Marina's actually a better striker than Højlund, I'm not going to lie. Right, who did this come off? Is it another corner again? It is another Arsenal corner. We're knocking on the door. Adama's at the back post. He tries to get it clear. He does get it clear. Lewis Skelly, can he just send it home? Good play from Ryan. Good play. Martinelli against Castagna again. It's a good battle. Martinelli with the nutmeg. Castagna goes down. He sat him down, and it's out for another corner. Martinelli is just absolutely torturing Timothy Castagna. Did he nutmeg him there? He did. He did. And Castagna's just gone to the. He's absolutely floored him. He is absolutely floored him. Martinelli might be back. I'm not going to lie. Martinelli might be back, man. I'm not going to lie. Back to his best right now. Arsenal, another corner. You just wonder how many corners we need. Rice. Punched by Leno. Ranieri on the edge of the box. Looks to put the ball back into the box again. Martinelli. Leno gathers, to be fair. Martinelli just pushing Leno. That was a good cross and good movement as well. Good cross from Ranieri. Good movement from Martinelli to kind of get on the back, get on the shoulder of the defender, but wasn't able to get clean enough contact on it. 62 minutes in, should really be 2-0 up by now. You know, we've had a good spell of attacking football, lots of corners, putting lots of pressure on Fulham. Got to really make the most of it. And I don't know if we have. Been knocking at the door a lot, though. We need to convert this into a goal. Adama Traore just outstrengths Kivior. And Traore just tries to put the ball across the box for Raul Jimenez, but the delivery is not great. We've got away with one there. If he could have found that ball across. If he finds that ball across, it's an easy goal for Jimenez, but he just can't find the ball. I'm assuming that was a cross. It could have been a shot. I'm assuming it was a cross. Adama just using his strength again. But this time it goes for, I think it was offside. They flagged for something. And they're going to make some changes now. Andreas Pereira coming on, Willian coming on, Iwobi coming on. Who do you think is coming off? Maybe Adama coming off. It looks like Saka's getting his shirt on as well. To me personally, this is too early. We were having a conversation in the stream earlier. I was talking to Ahmad Diallo in the stream about, Saka coming back. For me, this is too early here. We're in control. We just had a really good spell of attacking football. For me, this is too early for this change. I'm assuming it's going to be for Wanyeri. 25 minutes feels like a long time after that injury. It is Wanyeri coming off. So Saka just going straight back into his natural position at right wing. And it's a shame, really. Wanyeri's been really good. Really, really good. Good corners, good play generally. Really brave in terms of taking the ball in tight spaces, battling against multiple defenders. He's been really good, Wanyeri. As it's what we've come to expect from him. And the Arsenal fans are giving him a big cheer. Obviously, Saka back after a few months injury, but 25 minutes feels like a long time. It's difficult not to worry for a player like this come back from injury, but hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he's fit. And now Fulham will make their changes as well. Raul Jimenez is getting a talking to from the manager, so he's probably not coming off. Is this Lukic coming off? I think it's Lukic for Pereira, first of all. Adama Traore coming off for Willian. And it's Smith Rowe coming off for Iwobi. I still can't believe he sold Smith Rowe, to be honest, but there is a lot of attacking talent in this Fulham team. And to take off those three players and bring on those three. Willian, I'm less sold on, but he's been good at Fulham. He was shit for us, but he's been good at Fulham. In Man United, Casemiro's kicking off with someone. Don't know why. Casemiro has definitely fouled the player. Like Joe Worrell. Thomas Partey looking for a long throw into the box. There's a bloody long throw as well. Little flick on. Oh, Rice challenged straight into his back. Timber doing really well. David Raya sending it long for Saka. Saka's first involvement against Robinson. I want him to score, but I don't want to see him do anything too like needing too much power. I don't want to see him go for one of them 35-yard bangers or something. Partey does really well. Really, really well. Partey has this ability, he just does these little body feints and people just don't know where he's going. Coming up to 70 minutes, 20 minutes left. Oh, there's a shout for a foul in there. There is a ref will give a foul. Foul on Erdegaard. It's quite far out, but there's a lot of talk about what's going to happen. So they've obviously got some sort of game plan. Short one to Rice. Rice carries it forward. Saka cross into the box. Oh, it's nearly in as well. It's big save. Declan Rice. He's going to look for a shot. Oh, I think Erdegaard was looking for a shot as well. This is much better from Arsenal. Raising the intensity, something that we don't really see a lot. One of my criticisms of Arsenal, especially this season, is our performances have been quite flat in terms of whatever gradient 1 out of 10, whatever intensity level we're playing at, that's how we play. But we can see we're just moving through the gears in terms of intensity in the last sort of 10, 15 minutes. Declan Rice making a foul on Diop, and the ref is probably going to pull that one back and give him a yellow card. That was a bit of frustration from Rice. We've seen Rice lose his head and give away a red card earlier this season. So we can't really a double yellow card earlier this season against Brighton. So we can't really see that again. And he was outstrengthened by Diop and just didn't like it. Diop did outstrengthen him fair and square. Saka's back, but Ben White's out. You know, one day we'll play with our full strength team again. It might not be till next season, but you know, ugh, the memories of having a fully fit team. Martinelli's got two or three around him. He manages to get past Pereira, ball into the box. Saka, oh my god, it's 2-0. Bukayo Saka on his return, 2-0. Of course it is. Who else? Who else? That was all Martinelli, I've got to say. Martinelli gets the ball. Saka runs straight over to the Arsenal fans. What a goal, straight away. He's only been on the pitch 3 minutes, not even that. Second goal straight away. This Martinelli picks up the ball in a little bit of space. He sees a gap. He just hits the gap, almost like a Formula One driver. He just hits the gap straight away. For some reason, Marino drifts wide because Martinelli's going central. He's got Pereira on his right shoulder. He's got another defender on his left shoulder. He's got two defenders in front of him. Martinelli drives straight at the gap. He puts the ball across to Marino and carries on his run. Marino just hits a speculative ball across the box. Martinelli tries to get the shot away first of all. It's fluffed, and then it just bounces straight to Saka, and he heads it straight in. And now he's over to the medical team, hugging the medical team on the bench, and you can see what that means to him. AirPod Albert is having none of it. AirPod Albert said, "Less of that. Get back on the pitch. We've got a game to play." Let's see that again. Rice finds Martinelli, and this good movement from Marino. Marino goes wide straight away. Martinelli hits the gap, like I say. Martinelli gets the flick across. It's a lovely assist from Martinelli. It's lovely. That's really good work from the whole team. That is really good work for the whole team. That's just such a Brazilian flary assist. That is brilliant work from the whole team there. Rice releasing the ball nice and quick, and then, like I say, Marino recognizing the situation and just drifting wide right away. Really intelligent play. What a goal that is! Straight away on his return. Do you know what I'm saying? And Amad Diallo was saying, "Is he back too soon?" Listen, don't compare my winger to Anthony Martial and them kind of dead ballers. Don't do that. 2-0 Arsenal now. 15 minutes left. Looks like Timber's jarred his knee again. Timber's gone down and needs a little bit of treatment. Anthony Robinson considered whether or not he was going to kick the ball out or whether he was going to be spiteful and play on. But he's kicked the ball out. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. Saka, bro, 100%. These men are trying to tell me the manager's going to ruin his career. Remember Anthony Martial? I said, brother, don't compare Anthony Martial to Saka, bro. Don't compare these dead ballers to my players. Like, don't do that, bro. Don't do that. Saka was on the pitch for 3 minutes before he got a goal. 3 minutes, that's all it took. It's a good cross from Marino, and it's a great flick from Martinelli. A great flick from Martinelli. And I gotta say, Martinelli, to be fair to him, Martinelli's playing some of his best football, bro. Martinelli is cooking. He's absolutely smoked Castagna, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? He's doing Allen Iverson. He put Castagna on his backside, bro. More substitutions coming on. I think Muniz is coming on, and it looks like Ryan Sessegnon as well. If there's a serious problem with Timber, then I don't know what we do. Ben White out injured as well. Tomiyasu's injured all season. Well, we've got Leandro Trossard coming on as well. New trim as well. Long hair. Leandro Trossard. Yeah, Moody's on for Raul Jimenez. Raul Jimenez coming off. And Diop coming off as well for Sessegnon. Diop was playing, I think, right centre back. It looked like. Is he gonna right? Where's Ryan Sessegnon gonna go? It looks like Timber's come off and Trossard's come on. So is that gonna be Partey right back? Partey right back, maybe. Rice dropping deeper. Oh no, Marino's gonna drop into midfield. Okay. So Partey right back, Rice and Marino midfield. Maybe Martinelli or Trossard's going to go play at the 9. Great stop by a dangerous looking cross from Kivior. Another dangerous cross coming in. Trossard looking to, thought he was going to just get rid, but he's dummied it. Should have just got rid the first time, I think, Trossard. Andreas Pereira looking for a cross into the box. It's a Fulham corner. So Marino's gone back to his favoured position. He's going to go and sit in the midfield with Declan Rice. Erdegaard's still in the 10. And then you've got Trossard, Saka, and Martinelli making up that front three. It looks like Martinelli's going to be the 9, which is kind of exciting, to be fair. Because he's the one we want. On these counters, he's the one that we want. And hopefully, when you give him that 9 responsibility, he starts thinking about goal a little bit more. Pereira puts the corner in. Fulham head gets there first, but Raya gathers. .12 minutes left. 2-0. Predicted 2-0 or 2-1. Wasn't sure if we'd keep a clean sheet, but we have so far. Raya coming up really far to play football here. Lewis Skelly does well to draw the foul from Sessegnon. Does really well. Still 1-0 in the Man United game. It's a good pass from David Raya. Marino turns, starts driving forwards. He's got Trossard through the middle. He's got Martinelli wide. He goes Martinelli instead. Martinelli now with a few more to aim at, to be fair. The box has got a little bit more impetus now. Partey, great touch. Saka again. Trossard. I think Trossard just rolled the ball away from Odegaard. Odegaard was coming in to shoot, and Trossard just rolled the ball away from him. It will be on the counter. He's got Partey for pace, but there's people. Andreas Pereira's arriving. And Muniz just put it wide. Muniz is standing in the middle of the pitch, in the middle of the goal on his own, and he's put it wide. Thought Iwobi just slowed that down a little bit. Iwobi just slowed that counter attack down. Could have been a bit more direct there, Iwobi. Just looking at that again, he just takes a long time to start turning his body in towards goal and in towards the box. And then Andres Pereira's there. And I wonder if he doesn't just release that ball to Pereira and let him hit it first time. And Pereira would have had a lot of the goal to aim at, but that is a poor miss from Muniz. Really, really poor. It's a good ball. He's on his own, just him and Kivior, and the ball just hits him in the face. Looks like Arsenal probably get a third goal, to be fair. David Raya just kind of sliced at that. I don't know who passed it back to David Raya, but they made it really difficult for him. They passed it back to him with a big bounce, like chest height, and he's had to kind of swing at it. Still 1-0 to Man United. It's a great touch from Trossard. It's a lovely touch from Trossard. Arsenal just growing in confidence. Marino, good little dummy. Martinelli's got two on him, and he slips over. There's been a lot of slipping on the pitch today. I wondered if that was. It looked like it was kind of almost injured himself there, but it looks okay. Fulham look for another cross. David Raya gathers. That's what they've mostly been doing, Fulham, just looking for these crosses. But even if they find the cross to Muniz, I'm not sure. Yeah, they've got quite a lot of attacking talent to me in their midfield. I don't know if going wide and hitting crosses in there makes the most sense. They've got a lot of attacking talent in that midfield. It won't be Andreas, but Martinelli could be in here. Martinelli could be in. He's just gone down, sort of under the pressure of the defender, but I don't think there's enough for a penalty. Ask Tio on live if he ready for 147. Man looks so small. I think he should stay at 140. Yeah, he's a small guy, but it's age in it. It's age and just and what fights are at 140 for him? That's the problem. And consistently making the weight. You know, he's not a big 147, but Lewis Skelly does really well again, drawing that foul from Ryan Sessegnon. Still 1-0 Wolves, 2-0 Arsenal, and 1-0 Nottingham Forest. I used to like Tio a lot, man. I've gone off him a lot. I used to like Tio a lot, but this thing that the Latin American fighters have, you know, Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and Cubans, they've always been my favorite fighters, especially the Mexicans and Puerto Ricans. I like that kind of aggressive, come forward style of boxing. That's my favorite style. Miguel Cotto is one of my favorite fighters of all time. And yeah, there's this thing that they're doing now. A lot of the Latin fighters, you know, Ryan Garcia and Tio as well. It's like racism as part of their promo. It's just whack to me. It's just so whack to me. Like honestly, what Boots would do to him is diabolical. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can't fight at 140. Even Boots is going to have to come up to like 147 probably at some point. But, you know, if you're going to lose, you're better off losing to a big name. That's why I think that he's under the most pressure. Me and Shane said he's under the most pressure on that New York fight card because he's in front of his hometown. He's fighting Barboza. Barboza's a big and strong guy. Big, strong guy. Not as technical as Tio, but that'll be a tough fight, even if Tio wins. Cross comes in for Fulham. It's headed straight into the hands of David Raya. Yeah, Bam Bam Rodriguez, another fighter I like. You know, you've got Virgil Ortiz, another fighter I like. They're good fighters, man. There's no doubt about it. They're good fighters, but like I say, this racism thing to promo the fight, you know, it's just poor for me. Really poor, especially from guys like Ryan Garcia who don't need to do that. Like, you know, they're so popular. You can promote the fight in so many ways. He doesn't need to do that. Yeah, I thought we were past that. If they the thing is, if they genuinely feel that way, it's fine. Like if they like when McGregor said to Khabib, like your culture's backwards, that's fine. I think Conor McGregor genuinely believes that, but not really believing it and just saying it for content and saying it for oh, Trossard. Can we find a pass to it's a good ball from Martinelli? Can we find the goal? And what a finish that is. Oh, and it's just offside. Is it just offside? Rice made a tackle. The ball fell to Erdegaard, and he was spoilt for choice for a second. Erdegaard. He had Martinelli coming from the left hand side. He had Saka there, and he had Trossard through the middle. Yeah, it is offside. Yeah, fair enough. It's a good finish though. Good finish. Martinelli's played some of his best football that I've seen in a very long time today. And I think he deserves a goal. He's got an assist already, but I do think he deserves a goal. He's got a good shout to be player of the match, to be honest with you. But yeah, like, you know, Latin fighters, I like them a lot. I like their style. You know, the black fighters are much more sort of, especially after Floyd, they're all like, not all, but a lot of them very defensive first. Devin Haney, Keyshawn Davis, Shakur. is very technically, fundamentally sound. A lot of the Latin fighters are more aggressive, come forward, push the pressure. So you get a lot of good fights between Latin fighters and black fighters because of the style clash. But you know, there was always, not always, but there was some little respect there often. Do you know what I mean? Another foul on Miles Lewis Skelly. Sessegnon's fouled him about 4 times since he's come on the pitch. 90 minutes just hit, 6 minutes of added time left in the Arsenal game. 2-0 to Arsenal. Should be 3, could even be 4. You know, a couple of the chances that we've had where Martinelli got to the byline, put a cross in, one of them in particular from Erdegaard. Timber was in behind, got a shot away, just slammed it into the chest of Bernd Leno in goal. Ryan Sessegnon's just sent the ball out for a goal kick for Raya, and he's incensed. He can't believe what it is. He's shouting at the ref, but the lino's already given it. The Japanese are also coming. Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously Asia's probably too big a place to put everyone together, but Southeast Asia's had a lot of good fighters, and now we're seeing East Asia have some really good fighters as well. East Asia's had a lot of good fighters here and there, um, but not consistently, and there hasn't been a set kind of Eastern style yet. You know, there's not enough of them, and they are very like physically dispersed. You know, some of their fighters are 5'6", and some of their fighters are 7 foot. There's not really a consistent style. But there you go. Saka's down injured. Looks like he's been hit in the head by Anthony Robinson, and that looks like that's all Fulham are going to try and do now. It looks like Fulham are just being unnecessarily aggressive. They know they're out of the game, trying to rough us up a little bit, but there's a kid there for welcome back sign for Saka. And if you're not from London, yeah, like Nathaniel, like, I don't know if it translates over there, but if you're not from London, yeah, I'm curious to know if man understand how much Saka is an icon over here. Do you know what I'm saying? And what Saka means to the fan base over here. Like he's, you know, my girlfriend's a teacher, a primary school teacher, so like a kindergarten teacher, I guess you could say. And even the kids in her class that are not Arsenal fans, it's just Saka, 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 Saka. Like that's all they just love him. Like he's just such a big icon over here, especially for young black kids, but young kids of any young kids, you know, whether you play football or not, he's a real megastar over here. Corner comes in, ball falls Declan Rice, he goes on the volley, but it doesn't go in. It's over. But it's one of those, you've got to try it. The ball just pops up. You've got to try it. Inoue versus Nakatani is going to happen next year. Yep. Inoue's got some good fights, man. Inoue's got some good fights for sure. Yeah. I think him versus Tank is probably too far, 126, but Inoue's got some good fights. He's in a tough position, being so small. He's not really going to get the credit that maybe he deserves, but Thomas Partey, what a touch that is. 3 minutes left. We're into the 93rd minute, 96 minutes to play. Like Rashford used to be for United. I don't think it's the same. I think Saka might be a bigger icon, in my opinion, personally, than Rashford ever was. It's just bumbled in. Muniz has just had a little shot. They cut the cross across, and it's 2-1. And I think David Raya sort of fucked that up. It's kind of bobbled in. He should have really dealt with that a lot better than he did. They shouldn't really go and get a second. There's not a lot of time left. But yeah, I would say Saka's quite a lot bigger of an icon. Let's see how this happens. Sessegnon gets along the wing and just puts a simple cross into the box. That's poor from David Raya. Yeah, that's poor. That's really poor from David Raya. I don't know. I don't know what he's done there. It's taken a deflection. To be fair, it has, but I still think that's poor. Watching Saka after COVID in year 7 was pure vibes. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I mean Saka's the guy, man. Bukayo Saka's the guy. I think the thing is with Saka versus Rashford. I think London is a much more diverse city than Manchester is, and London has a way bigger black culture and population than Manchester does. So even if you're that level of icon in Manchester, it doesn't translate to the black community in the same way. Saka picks up the ball now, holding off Willian. Attack is our best form of defence at the moment. Martinelli's got the ball against Castagna. He's cooked him all game long. He just needs to cook him again. Castagna gets the better of Martinelli that time, though. The one time. There's 1 minute left. Fulham want a goal. Lewis Skelly outstrengthed by Muniz. Muniz getting into the box. Lewis Skelly does well, though. It goes for a Fulham corner. We can get this corner away and head straight to the corner flag. If Fulham get out of this with a draw, they've done very, very well. Because when it was 2-0 up, they looked way gone out of this game. Way gone. Arsenal have to dig deep now. Corner comes in. Arsenal head first, please. It's a Fulham head first, but it goes wide. That should be the game for us. That should be. Iwobi's going to go and put the ball in the goalkeeper's spot. And we know David Raya is going to slow it right down. I did say 2-1. I said at the beginning I couldn't see us keeping a clean sheet. And to be fair to Marco Silva, he's used every attacker he's got. But he switched to striker. He brought on 4 new wingers, new number 10. He made bare attacking substitutions. We're into the 96th minute. There should be time. It's just how much is the ref going to allow it to go on for any time added. But we should be close to the time now. Fulham goal kick. Oh, the ref's blowing the whistle. That's full time. And Saka scores on his return. Come on, let's go. Arsenal 2, Fulham 0. Saka back. Football is back. Arsenal is back. Only Fact Sports is back. Everything back. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be back again on Saturday for the Everton game. And in terms of boxing, because I know obviously man them know us, we do football, we do boxing. Do you know what I'm saying? Let me check me and Shane's schedule right now for when we are live. Guys, Saturday night. So Saturday daytime, I'm going to be here, 2:30 in the afternoon for Everton versus Arsenal. Then Saturday night, we've got what should have been Dillian White versus Joe Joyce. It's now going to be Philip Hergovich versus Joe Joyce. So make sure that you're here for that. Then next Saturday, we have Boots versus Stanionis. Big fight. We're going to be covering that fight, Nathaniel, for the American fans. We're going to be here. Boots versus Stanionis as well. And then the following week after that, we've got Cameron versus Whitaker. So if you're in the UK, that's not a big fight in the UK, but it's a sizable fight in the UK. Liam Cameron versus Ben Whitaker. Then the week after that, on the 26th, we've got Ben versus Eubank, which is a big fight in the UK. So every single Saturday, the week after that, we've got the 2nd of May, we've got the big New York card with Garcia, Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Barboza Jr., all of those fighters. And then we've got Canelo on May 3rd and Inoue on May 4th. So listen, we've got boxing. We're going to be covering all the boxing, do you know what I'm saying? And listen, you can go back and check me and Shane's old videos. We said we do not rate Ben Whitaker. When Ben Whitaker was doing the drunken master style against these nobodies, I said, bro, when he takes a step up, he's not going to be able to carry it on. We got called haters because everybody liked him and everybody wanted to see an ex-British top fighter and all the rest of it. And everyone said, like Nathaniel said, Ben Whitaker, bro, he quit. Apparently I heard today, they're trying to change the fight from a 12-round fight to a 10-round fight just today to try and screw over Liam Cameron. So these men are on mind games right now. We're going to be here covering it all. We've got boxing every single Saturday for the next 2 or 3 weeks, for the next like 5 or 6 weeks, whether it's UK time, American time, it doesn't matter. The New York card would be great because New York's only a few hours behind us, so it's Eastern time. So we will be here. So make sure that you bring your popcorn, bring your snacks. Tell any of your brethren, any of your friends, any of your man, any of your guys, any of your homies that's into football, that's into boxing, come and check out Only Fact Sports. We're going to be talking about it. But for right now, Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. I didn't even update the score, blood. That's how much I just don't care about Fulham in it. Like, it's a bit disrespectful. But yeah, bro, Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. You know, like I said, it's what I predicted it would be. That's what it was. Saka scoring 3 minutes after his return, and he's straight back. Saka is still, I think, the second or third in GA for the season, even though he's missed 2 months of the season. Wrap your head around that. Do you know what I'm saying? Marcus Rashford could never. Do you know what I'm saying? And on that note, I'm out. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm out. Peace and love every time. You know what it is.